Subscribe to my channel now. Remember to subscribe to my channel. See you. Hello my subscribers and viewers, welcome to my channel and my video. Today again I will show videos of Steve Kaufmann. Let's go to another language and see if he can speak those languages that he say that he can speak, this fake polyglot scammer. Let's see if he can really speak those languages that he say he can speak. But I also found out that he have more videos here also. In this one here, languages I speak. But in this one, he only put 14 languages. He say languages I speak, but he only put like 14 languages. But he say he can speak 20. Look here, French, Japanese, Chinese, Spanish, Russian, 5 language, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. He only put 14 languages here, but he said that he can speak 20 languages. And here it looks like he have more videos in Spanish, but I have already showed some Spanish videos. If I have time later, maybe I'll show more videos in Spanish, but I've already showed that his Spanish is fake. But let's take a look at another language today. I'm thinking maybe we should take a look at the Portuguese, but I have already showed before. If you watch my video before of Steve Kaufmann, if you look my playlist of Steve Kaufmann, the video where I show 3 person in the same video, Steve Kaufmann and Luca Lampriello and this Lingua Passion, Stefano. In this video I show that he edits his video, or they edit the video of Steve Kaufmann speaking Portuguese, and also he look and read from a script. So I already showed that he is fake with his Portuguese, but I want to show more videos also. Let's watch one of his Portuguese videos here in his playlist. Let's take a look. I'm not sure which one we should look at first. Maybe this one, 52 minutes. Let's try to take a look first at this one, 52 minutes, but it's very long video, but I'll not show all of it because it's very long. Let's take a look on this video here of Steve Kaufmann, but it says streamed 9 years ago, so it looks like it's a live stream, but there's no live chat, but it looks like it's a live stream because it says streamed 9 years ago, streamed live on December 4, 2012, so it looks like it's a live stream, but there's no live chat on it, but it looks like it's a live stream. So let's take a look on this live stream of Steve Kaufmann. And he always put these links here to link you and his blog there. But you can see here, where is Steve Kaufmann looking? Here after 15 minutes, you can see Steve Kaufmann is looking where? Where is Steve Kaufmann looking? He's looking to the right side. Why is he looking to the right side if the camera is in front of him? Because he's just looking and reading from his script, this fake asshole. He's just looking and reading from his script because he cannot speak Portuguese. And I've already showed that in another video that he cannot speak Portuguese. You can also see here in this video here, he keep looking to the right side to read here. And I'll show that in this video that he's just some fake shit. But I'll take a look from the beginning of the video. Also, he do same like in the German video. I show you the long German video. Every time they show Steve Kaufmann, they show this kind of picture here, or not every time, but a lot of times they will show this picture here instead of the video of Steve Kaufmann. Like when Steve Kaufmann is speaking, then they show this one here, this box here, where they show, I think it's from his LinkU website or something like that. They show this one, so you cannot see Steve Kaufmann when he's speaking. When you cannot see Steve Kaufmann, then he's just looking and reading from his script. For people who have not watched my videos before, maybe you can watch some of my other videos if you don't know what I'm talking about. But what I'm talking about is that Steve Kaufmann and the Polyglot YouTubers, They cannot speak those 10 or 12 or 15 or 20 or 30 or 50 languages they say they can speak. They just edit their videos and reading from a script. And Steve Kaufmann is also doing the same. Even he have many people believing in his bullshit. Even many people believe in Steve Kaufmann, but he also edit his videos and reading from a script. And how can he read from his script in this video? They will keep showing this one a lot of time in the video. Like there you can see he have video call there. If you look under the big picture, under this big picture there are 4 small videos. There are 4 small picture, 4 small videos. There are 2 person there on the left side, and then this one where there's some picture there of some computer screen like that. That is the camera of Steve Kaufmann. And the one on the right side, I don't know, there's something black. Maybe there's someone else who will speak there also. But you can see there, this is the video of Steve Kaufmann. And they put this one there so you cannot see him when he's speaking. But let's take a look just for a few seconds like that, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll play now, then you can hear Steve Kaufmann speaking same time they show this one. And why they do like this, it's so when they do like this, then Steve Kaufmann can just look and read from the script. Then you cannot see that he's looking and reading the same time.
Dificultades para nos, porque cada uno tiene su propio dato de base, su propio listo de palabras conocidas y no conocidas. Y cada vez el sistema va a decir cuántas palabras no conocidas para você. Y esa es una manera de julgar the nivel de dificultad de
See, they just show this one like black screen, and also this one. This black screen, and also this one, the computer screen like that. And then Steve Kaufmann is just looking and reading from a script now. That's also now he will speak a little bit more fast. Now when he's speaking, he speak a little bit more fast because he's just reading from a script the whole time. You will also hear and notice that now he's speaking more fast, Steve Kaufmann. He's speaking more fast because he's just looking and reading from a script because you cannot see him. But when they show the video of Steve Kaufmann, then he will speak very slow. When they show the video of Steve Kaufmann, he will speak very slow. But when they show this one, suddenly he speak more fast. When they show this one, then he will speak more fast because you cannot see him. Then he can just look at the script the whole time and read.
Porque siempre queremos estudiar cosas interesantes, mas ao mismo tiempo coisas que não são demais difíceis, não é? Ok, é importante saber que aqui o nível de dificuldade que vai aparecer Rodrigo, se você pode fechar o micrófono. Porque cada vez que hay un ruido de su micrófono, a pantalla va a desaparecer. Eu também vou fazer isso, que quando eu não falo, vou fechar meu microfone. Oh, temos Eduardo. Boa tarde,
Certo.
Eduardo. Hello.
Can you hear he's speaking more fast here than he normally do when he speak another language? Normally when he speak in another language, then he keep doing like and then he will say 1 or 2 words, then then he'll say 1 or 2 words. But when he put this picture there, then he can speak more fast because you cannot see him. He's just looking and reading from a script, this fake asshole. And now it looks like he put more videos down, like more video calls, like more people, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see there's like 5 videos now. Like he want to put more people chatting with him. 51 minute or 52 minute video, and he want to speak with 5 people or many people like that. So he will only speak for a few minutes because everyone will speak for like 10 minutes or 12 minutes or something like that. Maybe the other people speak for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and Steve Kaufmann will speak for 5 minutes or 10 minutes like that. And also when he's speaking, they just show this picture here most of the time.
Okay. não está.
É,
Sim?
eu posso
Eduardo.
desconectar agora?
Agora estamos, sim. Eduardo, onde mora você?
Oi, tá me ouvindo?
É um som muito pequeno.
You can hear Steve Kaufmann talking. Steve Kaufmann talking, but they don't even show him. They're not showing Steve Kaufmann. They just show some black screen or some picture like that of his laptop. So he's just reading from a script. It's just some fake shit because he cannot speak Portuguese.
Ok?
Acertar.
Um pouco difícil.
Ele tá tentando ajeitar, eu acho que eu entendi.
Eduardo,
Tentando aumentar o volume do som. Só um momento.
é um pouco melhor. Não, um pouco mais.
Ok.
Assim. Ok, vou repetir outra vez, que quando nós é um pouco difícil.
This video here, the big screen there, the video where this computer is, this computer screen, this video is the video of Steve Kaufmann. This is the video of Steve Kaufmann where they show the computer screen, but they don't show Steve Kaufmann, they're showing the computer screen. Then Steve Kaufmann is just looking and reading from some computer or some script like that. He's just looking and reading from a script, same time they show this one.
E quando nós não falamos, é melhor fechar o microfone. Porque cada vez esse distúrbio. Se eu, por exemplo, agora estou mostrando alguma coisa na minha pantalha, e se alguém, Cheryl, quando você fala, em seguida
Cambia.
vai.
Look, they show the other person, they show the other people, but they don't show Steve Kaufmann. I think they show him a little bit in start of the video and end of the video like that. I think start of the video and end of the video, and few times they will show Steve Kaufmann, but most of the time they don't show him because he's just looking and reading from a script. Why they show the other people but they don't show Steve Kaufmann? Why he did not put this one on the other people, like this one from his laptop like that, or the picture like that on the other people when he's speaking? Why put it on his own screen? And why he need to put this one in most of the video? He put this one so he can just read a lot and read fast and read a lot, and then it will sound like he is good in Portuguese because you cannot see him and he's just reading from a script.
Ok? Então é melhor já quando não falamos. É um pouco difícil, e se você põe o cursor na vossa imagem, deve poder ver.
See, now they show Steve Kaufmann, and where is he looking? He's looking down. Where is Steve Kaufmann looking now? He's looking down on his laptop and reading. You can see Steve Kaufmann is looking down on his laptop and reading, and they show that picture for like 2 minutes, and they do like this many times in the video. And then people will tell him, oh, you're doing good and blah blah blah. You're very brave, congratulations, amazing and simple at the same time. Amazing, he's reading from a script. Wow, this video shouldn't have few views. Yeah. Congratulations, speaks Portuguese well. Yeah, speaks Portuguese well or reading well. Reading well from his script. And where is Steve Kaufmann looking now? Like I say in all my videos, he's just looking down on his laptop. You can see his eyes are looking down. He's not looking in the camera. He's not looking in the camera, his eyes are looking down. He's just looking on his laptop and reading. He's just looking down and reading from his laptop. You can see he's looking down.
O microfono. Você pode fechar o microfone.
You can see he's looking down and reading. You can see he's looking down and he has his laptop there under the camera. He has his laptop under the camera and he's just looking at his laptop and reading the Portuguese text. He's just looking under the camera and reading from his laptop. You can see that he's looking down. He's not looking in the camera. He's not looking in the camera. He's looking down and reading from his laptop. He has his laptop under the camera. He has his laptop under the camera and he's just looking down and reading. He has his laptop under the camera and he's just looking down on his laptop and reading the script. Someone who can speak Portuguese wrote down a script for him in Portuguese, and he's just looking on his laptop and reading the script. He's just looking on his laptop and reading his script. He just practiced the script in Portuguese, and now he's just looking on his laptop and reading the Portuguese script because he cannot speak Portuguese, this fake scammer.
Se chama microfono o come si chiama in português? Microfone. Então, quando não falamos, vamos tratar de fechar o micrófono.
He's just looking down and reading the whole time. You can see he's looking down, he's not looking in the camera. His eyes are not looking in the camera. He's looking under the camera. He's looking under the camera because he have his laptop under the camera and he's just looking and reading the whole script.
Ok? Então, Eduardo, onde mora você?
Tá me ouvindo melhor agora?
Uhum.
Eu moro no Brasil, estado de São Paulo. Uso o link já há alguns 3 ou 4 anos. Utilizei bastante com inglês, me ajudou. Quando minha viagem, que foi para o Canadá, eu cheguei com inglês avançado, me ajudou bastante e tenho tentado agora.
Vocês me entendem? Sim?
You can see he's just looking down the whole time. Steve Kaufmann is just looking down the whole time. He's just looking down and reading from his laptop. He's looking down and reading from his laptop, this fake polyglot. He cannot speak Portuguese. And if you watch my other video on my playlist, you will also see that my other video where I have video of Steve Kaufmann, Luca Lamprello, and this guy, Lingua Passion Stefano. I have a video where I show all three in the same video where I show different videos of them. You will see that he cannot speak Portuguese. You can see he's looking down and reading.
Sim.
Sim, ok. Porque tem fechado o micrófono.
You can see he's just looking down and reading. And sometimes the screen become black. You can see he's just looking down and reading, and sometimes his screen become a little bit black like that.
Entende? Sí?
Sim.
Sí, ok.
Look, he closed his eyes there. You can see he closed his eyes, then he will look down and read.
Porque
And see, he also make his screen black sometimes. I don't know if there's something wrong with his camera, but I think maybe he do like this also so he can look and read for a longer time.
tem fechado.
See, he was looking down and reading. Look here at this fake asshole, this fake shithole, Steve Kaufmann. When he showed the black screen, he changed the camera to the black screen, and then what happened same time? Then he was looking down and reading. Look here, it looks like he was looking down and reading. That's why he make one of the screen this black screen. Then he will just change to this black screen every time he need to look down and read. Every time he need to look down and read, then he will change to the black screen. You can see here he's looking down to read, same time he showed the black screen, this fake asshole. Same time he showed this black screen of the other camera. There's another camera there, the black screen. He will change to this one every time he need to read. Every time he need to look down to read, then he will just change the camera to this screen. Then he will look down and read. Look here, he's looking down and reading, this fake asshole. Same time he showed the black screen, then he's looking down and reading, this fake asshole. You can see here he's looking down and reading. He's looking down to read from his script, from his laptop. He's looking down to read from his laptop. Same time he showed the black screen. That's why he changed to this black screen, so he can look down and read from his laptop the same time. He's just some fake asshole, shithole, scammer. And you can see he's still looking down there. But he changed to the black screen so he can look down longer time, this fake asshole. And then people say that he's a real polyglot and can speak 20 languages. He's just some fake asshole, scammer, liar, fraud, shithole, man. But you can see he's still looking down like that.
O micrófono durante que Eduardo falava. Ok, se Eduardo, você tem perguntas sobre o alemão, sobre o sistema Link, você pode.
Look at him. If you look good on his eyes, he's looking down. He's looking down on the left side there and reading from his laptop. He's looking down on the left side, reading from his laptop. And you can see he's looking down there to left side to read.
Perguntar.
Primeiro, desculpa chegar atrasado aí, eu tava acompanhando a transmissão pelo YouTube, até eu conseguir ligar o outro computador para entrar na...
See, now he showed the other guy speaking, he showed this boy or guy speaking. Then it looks like Steve Kaufmann is looking down, same time he showed this boy. Same time they show this boy on the video call. When they show this boy on the video call, it looks like Steve Kaufmann now is looking down and reading, but it's not easy to see. If you look on the videos under, you can see the video of this boy, then look at the videos here under. There's some guy there on the left side. On the left side there's a little video of one guy there, then on the right side is the video of this boy there, and then on the right side of that, I'm not sure if like a woman there, and then on the right side of that is Steve Kaufmann, and it looks like Steve Kaufmann is looking a little bit down now, so maybe now when they show this boy, Steve Kaufmann look down to read what he will say next. Look, same time they show this boy, same time they show the video of this boy, then Steve Kaufmann, it looks like he's looking down to read from his script the same time. Look here. Look, it looks like he's looking a little bit down. It looks like he's looking a little bit down. I think he's looking down to his laptop. That's why when he will show the other people, when he show the video or the camera of the other people, when they show the video or the camera of the other people, then same time Steve Kaufmann will look down to read from his laptop. Same time they show the other people, then Steve Kaufmann will look down to read from his laptop, so he's ready to speak next. Look, now it looks like Steve Kaufmann is looking down to read from his laptop, this fake polyglot. He's looking down to read from his laptop, same time they show this boy here. He's just some fake asshole, this Steve Kaufmann shithole man. I took one more screenshot picture here also. Same time he's speaking with this boy here. Then you can see it looks like Steve Kaufmann is looking down. It's not so clear, but it's like his eyes are looking down or almost closed and looking down like that. He's just looking down and reading the same time. Same time they show the video of the other people, then Steve Kaufmann will look down to read. Same time they show the video of the other people, then Steve Kaufmann will look down to read from his laptop, this fake asshole man.
Poder participar. A minha dificuldade com alemão, principalmente.
And if you look down on the picture down, it looks like Steve Kaufmann is looking down. If you look on the video of Steve Kaufmann under, it looks like he's looking down and reading. Same time this boy is speaking, then it looks like Steve Kaufmann is looking a little bit down. Look, it looks like he's looking a little bit down. He's not looking, the camera is looking a little bit down. I think he's looking down and reading his script. I think Steve Kaufmann is looking down to read his script same time. It's not so clear because the video quality is not so good because it's a small picture. But you can see his head is looking a little bit down. I think he's looking down and reading the script same time. So he's ready to speak next.
É a pronúncia. Então sempre que eu começo a tentar aprender.
Look there, he closed his eyes. He was looking down. He was looking down and reading Steve Kaufmann. I move a little bit forward to Steve Kaufmann when he's going to speak here.
Motivo.
I think Steve Kaufmann is looking down and reading the same time they show this boy here. It looks like Steve Kaufmann is looking down and reading the same time, but it's difficult to see because the video is very small. And when I zoom in, the quality is not so good. But I think he's looking down and reading the same time. I think same time the guy is speaking, then Steve Kaufmann is looking down and reading. I think same time they show the other guy, then Steve Kaufmann is looking down and reading. He's just some fake asshole. He's just looking down and reading his script same time they show the other guy. So he's ready to speak next.
Estamos ouvindo, Steve.
Steve.
I think Steve Kaufmann is looking down and reading now. That's why they show the other people, because he's looking down and reading the same time when they show the other people.
Tá sem som.
Micrófono.
I will show this part here again. Try to look down on the small video of Steve Kaufmann. Look on the small video of Steve Kaufmann. You can see he's moving around. He's moving around and looks like he's looking down and reading. Look on the video of Steve Kaufmann, the small video of Steve Kaufmann. You can see he's moving around. Seems like he's looking down and reading. I'll try to show it again also if I zoom in. I'll try if I can show the same video when I zoom in. If it's possible, I'll try to do that. You can see Steve Kaufmann is like he's looking down and reading. Okay, I tried to zoom in on Steve Kaufmann's video. Try to look here. It's like he's looking down to read. Look. It's like he's looking down to read, this fake asshole. Look, he moved to right, moved to left, and he looked down to read. Look here. Same time they were showing the other people, Steve Kaufmann was looking down and reading, this fake asshole. Same time they were showing the other people, then Steve Kaufmann was looking down and reading. Look. Look on Steve Kaufmann, it's like he's looking down and reading, this fake asshole. Same time they were showing the other people, then Steve Kaufmann is looking down and reading, this fake shit polyglot. See, you can see it like looking down. You can see he was looking down and reading. Look at Steve Kaufmann now, he's looking down and reading. When they showed the other people, he was looking down and reading the same time, so he's ready to speak. When they showed the other people on the video call, and they showed their video call, then Steve Kaufmann, the same time, he's looking down and reading. You can see it looks like he's looking down there.
Okay, agora?
Sim.
Sì, scusa. Dico che
He was just looking down and reading this fake asshole, man.
Existen idiomas que son más.
And he also look up to the right side. He do it in many videos that he look up to the right side. I think he have also something there up on the right side. And they show this black screen because he's looking down and reading. You can see he's looking down and reading. That's why they show the black screen.
Fiz algumas lições por mês, 2 e parei. Eu cheguei a fazer curso aqui no Brasil, na faculdade mesmo, mas era mais voltado para leitura.
Sem som.
Look here, they show black screen. They show black screen, and then Sunday they'll show Steve Kaufmann. So why have a camera? There's a black screen there. There's no one in that video. He make another extra video with a black screen. Look. If you look down here, you can see there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos. And I think when he need to read, he just put the black screen. I think sometime when he need to read, then he put the black screen. You can see the black screen is the one on the right side of Steve Kaufmann. If you look on the 5 video here down, on the left side, there's someone there. On the left side, some guy. On the left side, in the small videos, in the small picture videos there. On the left side, there's a guy. Then on the right side of him is this other guy. On the right side of him is this woman, and then on the right side Steve Kaufmann here, and on the right side of Steve Kaufmann there's also a black picture, like a black video. Why he put one extra video where there's nothing? And this extra video is this black screen here. Every time he's looking down and reading, he will put this black screen. You can see it looks like he's looking down there. It's not clear because it's a small video of him. You can see now he put this black screen on the video. Now he put this black screen. Then Steve Kaufmann is looking down to read. But it's not so easy to see because the video quality is not so good. But you can see here he's looking down to read the same time. It looks like he's looking down to read the same time when he put the black screen. When he need to read, then he just change to the black screen or change to one of the other people. He will change to one of the other cameras every time he need to read. Every time he need to look down to read, then he will change the video to one of the other cameras so he can look down and read, so people cannot see when he's looking down to read from his script. Look, you can see now I play after the black screen. You can see he's looking down. You can see he was still looking down. And you can see he's looking down there. He was reading. He was looking and reading. He was looking down and reading. That's why he's looking down there. You can see he's looking down.
Okay, agora?
Sim.
See? Then they show the black screen again because he was still looking down and reading. Just some fake shit. Look at this fake asshole, shithole Steve Kaufmann. He showed a black screen, and I think he looked down to read. And after he finished reading, then he do some signal with his hand. He do some signal with his hand. He take his hand up and show his hand like that. He say, I think he tell them, okay, wait a moment, or it's okay now, I finished reading. He do some signal to them with his hand. You can see he do some signal with his hand. I don't know if he tell them one moment I need to read something, or if he tell them it's okay, I just finished reading now. I think he already planned with them that every time he need to read, then he will change to the black screen. And now he makes some signal with his hand that he is going to read or finished reading or something like that. And you can see the woman there looks like she's laughing or smiling. I think because they plan it with him. Look, it looks like they're smiling or laughing. If you look at their faces, it looks a little bit like they're smiling or laughing or something like that. It looks like they're smiling or laughing, because I think they already know that every time he will change to the black screen, then he do not need to read. I think they already know every time he will change to a black screen, then he need to read. And then he do some signal with his hand. He show his hand like this, oh, wait a moment, or something like that. He's just some fake asshole, man. He planned with them that every time he showed the black screen or changed the screen to one of the other cameras, then he's going to look and read. That's why he makes something with his hand. He say to them, okay, just a moment, or something like that. This fake asshole, man. They just plan it together. They're working with him and they plan it together. Those fake assholes, man.
Digo que son,
And see, I don't know if it looks like he's also looking up to the right side. In many videos, he also looked there to this side, to the right side there, and looking a little bit up. I think also have some laptop or something there on the right side that he's looking and reading from.
Existen idiomas que son más difíciles para pronunciar. Y que acredito que ruso, por ejemplo, es muy difícil. Y que acredito que ruso, por ejemplo, es muy difícil.
Look, he look also to the left side there. I don't know if he also have something on the left side that he's looking and reading from. But one thing I'm very sure about is that he have something under the camera. He have some laptop under the camera. I'm very sure about that. And I don't know if you have something there also up on the left side and up on the right side. I'm not sure. But I think he have on the right side. But I don't know if he also have there up on the left side there when he looked to the left side there. But looks like he looked at something to read or something like that.
O tcheco também.
But after he looked up, it looks like he looked down for a second.
Es muy difícil. O tcheco.
See? So I don't know if you have something there up on the left side, or if it was just something he do. Maybe he just looked there up fast to the left side and then he do like that so he can look down. Because now it looks like he looked down, and there's a bigger chance that he has something there down on the table or something like that, because look, he looked down there to read something on the table. So maybe he moved his head up and down so people will not notice. I think when he looked down now, there's something there on the table that he's reading from. You can see he's looking down, he's not looking in the camera. I think he has something on the table, some paper or something that he look and read from.
Também. Ok, io faço.
See, now he looked to the right side. He has something there on the right side, I'm very sure about that. Because in many videos he keep looking there to the right side. In many videos he looked there to the right side, I'm very sure he have also something there on the right side that he look and read from. He's just looking to the side and reading. He's just some fake shithole, he cannot speak Portuguese.
Sempre è
See, he keep looking down. He has something there in front of him and also something on the right side.
io no.
Look, he's just looking down to read something. You cannot speak Portuguese, you're just some fake asshole, man.
Vou tentar de pronunciar ao princípio. E vou passar ano sem falar, sem pronunciar. Porque para mim.
See, he keep closing his eyes, opening his eyes, closing his eyes, opening his eyes. Same like every video. He do like this so he can look down and read. See, he opened very little now. You cannot see it, but he opened his eyes very little. He opened his eyes very little, then he's looking down and reading.
Cuando ya el cerebro está acostumbrado al idioma. Mas tem outra gente que querem falar.
See, keep looking down to the side there. I think he looked to the laptop a few times like that. He's just some fake asshole, man. You can see he keep looking down there to the side. He will look down for a second or few seconds like that to read. But he will look down there for a few seconds to see few words. You can see he look down there, and I think he have his laptop there on the left side. Down on the left side he have his laptop. And in the middle maybe he have some papers or something, I'm not sure, but down on the left side I think he have his laptop there.
Falar, querem pronunciar desde o princípio. Então, esse depende de sua maneira de estudar. Quizás que Fernando...
See, keep looking there to the left side there, down to the left side. You keep looking down to the left side there because you have some laptop there.
Maneira de estudar. Quizás...
Look. You keep looking down to the left side. The camera is in front of you. Steve Kaufmann, the camera is in front of you. Why are you looking there? Why are you looking down there? The camera is in front of you. Why are you looking down there? Look in the camera when you're speaking to people. Look in the camera. You're looking down to read your script because you cannot speak Portuguese. You're looking down to the left side to read your script because you cannot speak Portuguese.
Fernanda, que tem muita...
Yeah. 2 times you look down in 1 or 2 seconds. 1-2 seconds you look down 2 times. Look first here also at 12 minute 59, and then you look at 13 minute and 8 and 30 minute and 9 seconds like that.
Falar, querem pronunciar desde o princípio. Então, esse depende de sua maneira de estudar. Quizás que...
See, look here again at 13 minute and 8 seconds. 30 minute and 8 seconds he look down, then after a second he will look down again. He looked down just to try to see 1 or 2 words. Then I think he did not have enough time to read maybe, then he looked down next second again. Look now. See, he looked down in the same second. Also 13:08. In the same second he looked down to the left side 2 times. In the same second he looked down to the left side 2 times to read.
Muita experiência na enseñanza de inglês e também do português. Eu creio que está aprendendo na universidade muitas ou por lo menos.
Where are you looking? Steve Kaufmann. Steve Kaufmann, if you can really speak Portuguese, why you keep looking down there to read? And also why before you put this picture of the computer screen instead of showing yourself? And also why you keep putting this black screen also? Because you cannot speak Portuguese. You're just looking down and reading from your laptop. You're looking down and reading from your laptop. You cannot speak Portuguese. But you have 500,000 subscribers believing in this bullshit. You're just looking down and reading from your laptop.
Os idiomas. Pero para mí es una cuestión de sons. Por ejemplo.
Looking down again to the left side to read from his laptop. Again, looking down to read from his laptop. He just have some script, someone who can speak Portuguese who wrote down a script for him in Portuguese that he is looking and reading. And he practiced this script for many weeks, how to pronounce it and how to read it. And then he just looked down to read the script. He's looking down to the left side to read on his laptop. Everything he's saying in this video, he just read it from a script. Everything he's saying in this video, he's just reading from a script. That's also why before they sometimes put this black screen so you cannot see him. Or they put this picture of his computer screen so you cannot see him. It's because he's just looking and reading from a script. You can see he's just looking down every few seconds to the left side to read from his computer. Every few seconds he look down to the left side to read from his computer.
Como decía Fernando.
See, every 2 seconds or every second he look down to the left side to read. You can see he keep looking down to the left side to read from his computer.
Os portugueses falam melhor inglês que os espanhóis. Eu acredito que é porque os portugueses têm mais
I don't know if he look at something there up on the right side or no, but he'll only look for a second like that.
Porque os portugueses têm
See, he look up for a second, but I don't know if he look at something.
porque os portugueses têm
See, he look up there to the right side. And he was speaking very slow and keep repeating like ding, 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 like that. He's repeating a word like that. Every time he do like that, it's because he need to read. He look up to the right side there, and I think he have something there that he's looking up to the right side and reading also. He put his script many different places, so he will not look the same place every time. I think he have something there also up on the right side. He look and read there.
Tem mais sons em a língua portuguesa. Tem mais diptongos, tem mais sons, então o cérebro está já acostumado.
You can see it looks like he's looking down. I don't know if he's looking down on some paper or something, but it looks like he's looking down now. It looks like he's looking down in front of him, under the camera. He's looking under the camera. I think he have some papers or something there on the table also that he's looking in the middle there.
A escutar mais sons. Aos espanhóis não. Eu acredito que é muito importante poder.
Where are you looking? Steve Kaufmann, where are you looking? He's just looking to the right side there to read from his script. He just practiced something for a video. And I think the things that he cannot remember, that's when they put the picture of the computer screen. When they put the picture of the computer screen, I think it's the part of the video that is difficult for him to remember. Then they put the picture showing his computer screen or black screen, and the thing that he remember a little bit, the things he remember a little bit, then they show him. But same time, he need to look to the side every few seconds or looking down every few seconds to look and to remember, because he cannot remember all of it. He memorized something for the video, but he still need to look few times to the side to read because he cannot remember it 100%. You can see he looked there up to the right side to read because he forgets some words. It's like he memorized some script like that, but he forgets some words or forgets something, so he need to look and read. You can see he looked there to the side to read. He's looking up to the right side to read.
Perceber.
And now it looks like he's looking down. You can see he's not looking in the camera. You can see he's not looking in the camera, he's looking under the camera. Look at his eyes and his head, he's looking down. He's looking down to read. I think he's looking maybe down to the left side, but you cannot see it because he only opened his eyes very little. He only opened his eyes very little and it looks like he's looking down to read there on the left side.
Poder ouvir as sons. Então, os sons. Eu não vou tentar de.
See, now he look up to the right side. He look up to the right side to read there on the right side, and I think also he looked down to the left side many times.
Pronunciar antes de.
See? He keeps shaking his hands and shaking his head so people will not notice what he's doing. He keeps shaking his hands and his head, and then he will look down to read. Look, he just distracts people. He's just distracting people by shaking his hands and his head, and then he will look down to read. Look, he's looking down to read the next words. You're looking and reading.
Oído muy.
Did you read good? Did you look down and read good? Then he's looking and reading. Just some fake asshole, man.
Vou tentar de pronunciar.
See, he look up to the right side to read, and after he will look down to read also.
Antes.
See, now he will look down to read. Then he's looking and reading. He's looking down and reading. He's looking down and reading. He's trying to look on the paper. Which paper is the word I'm looking for? He's just looking down and reading from his papers.
Where oí.
You fake asshole, you fake polyglot, fake scammer. And 500,000 people believing in this bullshit. And even now he move his head up. Even after he moves his head up, now he's looking down a little. That's why he opened his eyes only very little. He only opened his eyes very little. He found what paper he wanted to read from. When he looked down, he found the paper that he was reading from. Then he's not finished reading yet. He was not totally finished reading. Then he moved his head up, but he opened his eyes very little and still looking down to read the next few words.
En ese idioma. Pero
see, he closed and opened his eyes, then he looked down. He closed and opened his eyes, then he looked down to read. You can see he's looking down to read. But he only opened his eyes very little, so it's difficult to see. See, then he looked down also on the left side to his laptop also. Also, he looked down to the left side on his laptop also to read. You just some fake asshole, man. See, he keeps shaking his head. Why you keep shaking your head? Is there something wrong with your head? Why you keep shaking your head? He's shaking his head so he will look down and read at the same time. See, he keeps shaking his head, shaking his head. This is his polyglot techniques. This is one of his many polyglot techniques and methods. This is one of his many polyglot techniques and methods. He's shaking his head around or moving around. So he distracts people, they don't know what he's doing. They think that he's just trying to remember, but same time he will look down and read. You can see he's looking down. See, he's looking down and reading. He shakes his head a little bit around, so people will not notice what he's doing, but he's looking down and reading. Yeah, just shake your head a little bit from the right side to the left side, same time you're looking down and reading. You fake asshole, man. Then he shake his head again, shaking his head, close his eyes, shaking his head, closing his eyes, then he will open his eyes and look down and read also. You fake asshole, man. Yeah, you fake asshole, man. See, he keeps shaking his head all the time. Why he's the only one of those people who keep shaking his head and jumping around, same like a monkey, moving his head around, and he's the only one who do it of those people, because he need to look and read. That's why he's shaking his head around and open and closing his eyes. See, he keep looking down to read, but you cannot see it because he keep opening and closing his eyes. You're some fake asshole. And now I think he's looking down to the left side, but it's difficult to see because he only opened his eyes very little. He's just some fake asshole, man. He will just look down for a second like that to see a few words for a few seconds, and he will only open his eyes very little. You can see he only open his eyes very little, then he's looking down to the left side to read there. You keep doing like this so you can look down and read. He keeps shaking his head around like that so he can look down and read. You can see he moves his head forward. He moves his head a little bit forward and then only open his eyes very little. He only opens his eyes very little, then you cannot see where he's looking. He only opens his eyes very little, you cannot see where he's looking, but he's looking down and reading. He's looking down and reading, but you cannot see it because he only opened his eyes very little. He's not looking at the camera, he's looking down. But you cannot see it because he only opened his eyes very little. See, he opened his eyes very little, and you can see it looks like he's looking down to the left side. He's looking down to the left side on his laptop, but he only opened his eyes very little, so you cannot see it so good. He's looking down on the left side to his laptop. His eyes are looking down to the left side, reading from his laptop, but it's difficult to see because he only opened his eyes very little. And he do this intentionally. He do it intentionally like this so he can read. He do it intentionally so he can read without people notice. He do it intentionally so he can read from his laptop without people notice. He will only open his eyes very little like this so he can look down and read, or he will close his eyes and open his eyes, shake his head around, move his body forward and back, or move his body from right side to left side. He keep doing this kind of things so people cannot notice or see that he's looking and reading.
Si tem opinião
See, now he also looked to the right side to read. Now he also looked to the right side. He has something on the right side also he's reading from.
sobre esse tema, por favor.
Pronunciar? Eu acho que, assim, pronunciar no princípio é um pouco ruim, mas eu gosto muito de aprender a pronunciação, porque eu quero.
And why you put video of someone you cannot see the person there? And look at Steve Kaufmann now. Look down on the video of Steve Kaufmann. I'll try to take a screenshot picture and show you more near. If you look down on the video of Steve Kaufmann now, on the small videos, if you look at Steve Kaufmann now, you can see he's looking down to the right side. Look at Steve Kaufmann now. If you tell me you cannot see him, then he's not in the big video now. He's in the video under. The video under in the small video. Look at Steve Kaufmann. He's looking down to the right side. Same time they show this black screen and there's some person speaking. I don't know who is this person. But now you can see Steve Kaufmann is looking down to the right side. Look here at Steve Kaufmann, where I'm pointing there. You can see the white marking, where I'm pointing there. You can see where I'm pointing this here, the white one. This is the video of Steve Kaufmann. And you can see that he's looking down to the right side. He's looking down to the right side and reading. Same time they show this black screen and someone talking. Look at this fake polyglot Steve Kaufmann. This fake polyglot Steve Kaufmann. Same time he put the video, this black video here. I think there's someone there in this black video, but they don't show the person or something like that. I think he just have this black video as extra video like that. So every time he show this black video, or also when he show the other people, then he will look down to read. Look here on Steve Kaufmann. See, you can look. See, he's looking down. You can see he's looking down to the right side there. He's looking down to the right side to read same time. You can see Steve Kaufmann is looking down to the right side to read same time. This fake polyglot. Same time he show the black screen or show some of the other people. Every time he show the other people or something like that, then he look down to read. You can see Steve Kaufmann is looking down to the right side to read. He's looking down to the right side to read because he cannot speak Portuguese. He's just looking and reading a script. He's just some fake asshole scammer, man.
No meu caso do inglês, que eu quero aprender a falar inglês fluentemente, eu quero pronunciar igual um nativo da língua. Então eu tento muito pronunciar exatamente como vocês, Steve, tipo, no inglês. Então eu acho importante, assim, pronunciar.
Look now at Steve Kaufmann. Where is he looking? Look at Steve Kaufmann now. You can see he's looking down to the left side. Before he was looking down to the right side and reading. Now he looked down to the left side and reading. That's why he made this video call with many people. So every time he showed the other people, he will look down and read. Look now at Steve Kaufmann. He's looking down to the left side and reading. Look good at Steve Kaufmann's video here under the big video. Or look the small video of Steve Kaufmann. Look the small video of Steve Kaufmann. He's looking down to the left side and reading. He's looking down to the left side and reading from his laptop. Look at Steve Kaufmann now. First he looked down to the right side to read, and after he looked to the left side, and now he's looking down here also to the left side to read. Same time they show the other person, then he's looking and reading. Same time they show the other person, then he's looking down and reading. Look at Steve Kaufmann. You can see he's looking there to the left side, looking down to the left side to read. That's why he put the video of the other person, and same time he will look and read. Same time they put the video of the other people, then Steve Kaufmann will look and read. Look at him. You can see he's looking there to the left side to read this fake polyglot. He's looking to the left side to read this fake polyglot because he cannot speak Portuguese. He cannot speak Portuguese. He's just looking to the left side to read a script. Every time they show some of the other people or show the black screen there, then he just look to the left side or look to the right side to read. He's just looking down to the left side there to read this fake polyglot. This is Steve Kaufmann that people think that he's a real polyglot. People want to say that he's a real polyglot and can speak 20 languages. He's just some fake asshole scammer.
Não sei no início, porque eu comecei aprendendo, eu comecei a me importar com pronunciação há poucos anos atrás, então no início eu não importava. Certo? Então eu não sei muito bem dizer se é ruim ou se é ruim no início.
Mas é uma situação.
See, now he's looking there to the right side to read also. Before, when they showed the other person, but you could not see the other person, it was just some black screen. When they showed this black screen was the other person speaking. Then Steve Kaufmann was looking to the right side first, looking down to the right side reading, and after he looked down to the left side reading, and now he looked up to the right side there and reading. You can see he's looking up to the right side, he reads some script there.
En inglés, no.
See, and now he looked down also there to the right side, he has something there also he look and read from. You can see he looked down to the right side also.
Temos
Just some fake asshole, man.
muitas ocasiões.
And he keep moving his body up and down. He moves his body up and down, forward and back, so people will not notice what he's doing. But look on his eyes now. If you look on his eyes, but they're very little open. They're only very little open, but they're looking down to the left side. Now he's looking down to the left side on his laptop to read. He's looking down to the left side to read.
Oportunidades.
Now he moves his body a little bit forward. He moves his body a little bit forward and he's still looking down to the left side to read.
Para escutar inglés.
You're just some fake asshole, man.
En todos los países. Entonces somos acostumados.
See, now they show the black screen because you need to read. I'll try to look on his camera there down. It looks like he's looking down and reading, but it's not clear.
Acostumados.
He's just some fake asshole. And now he looked to the right side to read. Now he's looking to the right side to read this fake asshole, man.
Al inglés en la televisión, en películas, en la música.
See, now he looked down to the left side. Now he's looking down to the left side to read from his laptop. He has something there down on the left side when he looked down and read. And also he has something up on the right side. And he has something in front of him on the table that he also look and read from.
No son.
Same time he's speaking, he's looking there down to the left side. Same time he's speaking, he's looking down to the left side and reading.
Sonidas que.
And see, now he moves his hands. He's moving his hands like that to distract people. He moves his hands to distract people, and same time you can see he's looking down. He's looking down in front of him. He has some papers or he has something in front of him also there where he's looking down now to read.
Ya.
See, he moves his head a little bit forward and looking down. He's moving his head forward and looking down to read.
Conocemos.
Just some fake asshole, man. You're just looking and reading your whole script, you fake asshole, man.
Conocemos. Mas por el alemán o por ruso, no.
You can see, he only opened his eyes very little. He opened his eyes very little, then he's looking down and reading. He only opened his eyes very little, then he's looking down and reading. Look at this fake polyglot, man. He only opened his eyes very little, so people cannot see where he's looking, and then he's just looking down and reading the same time. He only opened his eyes very little, and then he's looking down and reading, but it's not clear because he only opened his eyes very little. He's looking down to read, but he only opened his eyes very little, so people cannot see where he's looking. This fake clown, man. See, he's looking down now. It looks like he's looking a little bit to the left side now, looking down to the left side on his laptop. But it's difficult to see because he only opened his eyes very little. And he do it intentionally. It's not because there's something wrong with his eyes or something like that. He do it intentionally and he do it in all his videos. I see it in all his videos and also his live stream. Always like this, he only opens his eyes very little. He closes his eyes, open his eyes. Sometimes he will open his eyes a lot. But many times he only open very little, then he will look down to read. You can see he's looking down to the left side to read. You can see here it looks like he's looking down, but it's not so clear because he only opens his eyes very little. But it looks like his eyes are looking down. If you look good on his eyes, it looks like his eyes are looking down. He's looking down to read because he has his laptop under the camera. He's just looking and reading from his laptop, this fake asshole, man. See, he moves his head, shaking his head like that so he can look to the side and read.
Es posible que es más fácil pronunciar.
See, he keep closing his eyes, opening his eyes, closing his eyes, opening his eyes. Then he will look down to read.
Inglés.
He's just some fake asshole, man.
Exactamente, porque hemos oído tantas.
See, he keeps shaking his head so people not notice where he's looking. He keeps shaking his head so people not notice where he's looking. He shake his head here, then I think he look a little bit down to the left side. See? He shake his head and close his eyes, open and close his eyes, and he was looking down to the left side. He do like this so people not notice when he's looking. Just some fucking asshole, man. I'll try to pause here when he look to the side, but it's difficult because he just do it for a second like that.
Más fácil pronunciar inglés.
See? It looks like he's looking down there. He open and close his eyes, and I'll show you after a few seconds also.
Exactamente, porque tenemos
See, he look up to the right side there. He look up to the right side, and then after a second he will look down to the left side.
oído tantas
He look down to the left side, and after he will close his eyes. See? He looked there to the left side. He looked there to the left side, and next second he will close his eyes. Look, he looked there to the left side to read from his laptop. He looked to the left side to read from his laptop, and then immediately he will close his eyes so people not notice. Look now. Look, he looked to the left side to read something. He looked to the left side to read something there. You can see he's looking to the left side. He's looking to the left side to read from his laptop. And also it looks like there's some light on his glasses like that. I don't know if it's the light from the laptop. But he looked there to the left side to read, and then in a second he will close his eyes. Look now. See, he almost closed his eyes or looked down also. Also, he looked down in front of him there. He's just some fucking annoying asshole. He just do this kind of things so people not notice that he's looking and reading.
Otra opinión de Chanel,
And he's looking down and reading now. But it's difficult to see because he only opens his eyes very little. Like, look, he moves his head up. He moves his head up and a little bit back like that. Then only opens his eyes very little. And he's looking down to left side and reading. Now he's looking down to left side and reading. And if you cannot see it so good, so it's because he only opened his eyes very little, so you cannot see where he's looking. But he's looking down to left side and reading. He's looking down to left side and reading from his laptop. See, now they show the woman. They show the woman because he need to read. He showed the woman now. Okay, now he need to read. Then he changed the camera to the woman. He say like, it's difficult to say. He want to read something. He want to read the next few lines, what he will say next. Then that's why he make video call with many people. He make video call with many people. So every time after he say few sentence, then he will show someone else so he can read the next sentence. Every time he will show someone else in the video call so he can look and read the next few sentences. Then after he finish reading, then he will show his camera again.
Sim.
sí,
Bom, não sei se me ajuda com a...
See, now he moves his body a little bit back, Steve Kaufmann. He moves his body a little bit back, and I think he do like that so he cannot see where he's looking. Then he will look down and read. And also this woman looks like she's looking down like now. I think she's also looking down and reading from some script because they just write down a script together.
pronunciação, mas eu costumo falar
Look at Steve Kaufmann now. Look at Steve Kaufmann now. He moved more near from the camera like that, and it looks like he's going to look down to the left side. Look at Steve Kaufmann. It looks like he's looking down to the left side. He wants to read from his laptop now. That's why he showed this woman so he can look and read the next few sentences. That's why he do video call with many people. So he will say few things, then he will show the other person, then he will look and read what he will say next. Look at the fake polyglot. Look at the fake polyglot Steve Kaufmann. The fake polyglot Steve Kaufmann. He changed the camera to this woman. He changed the camera to this woman, and same time he will look down to read. Same time he will look down to read from his script. Look. You can see he put his hand on his mouse there on his face. He put his hand there on his mouth and his face, and same time he's concentrated and looking down to read. Same time he's concentrated and looking down to read. Same time they show the camera of the woman, then Steve Kaufmann is looking down to read. He's reading what he will say next. He's looking down on his laptop and reading what he will say next. That's why he changed the camera to the other woman, so he can look down and read same time. This fake polyglot Steve Kaufmann.
Eu mesma não sei, quando estou lavando os pratos ou caminhando pelo parque ou qualquer coisa, sempre estou falando e tentando produzir as ações. E não sei se me ajuda, mas estou falando e usando o idioma. É isso. Caminhando pelo parque ou qualquer coisa, sempre estou falando e tentando produzir as ações. E tentando produzir as
Look at Steve Kaufmann now. Look down on the video of Steve Kaufmann. You can see he's looking to the left side now. Look down on the video of Steve Kaufmann. Look on the video of Steve Kaufmann now. Look down under the woman. Look on the video of Steve Kaufmann. Where is he looking? Where is he looking now? He's looking to the left side. Same time the woman is speaking, then suddenly he will look to the left side to read a little. Then after he will move back again. Then after he will move again to look again. Every few seconds he will go there to the side to try to read something from his laptop, what he will say next. Now he moved there to the left side to read from the left side. He looked to the left side to read few things. And after a second he will move back again, so he sit normally again. Look at Steve Kaufmann. Look at Steve Kaufmann. Same time he showed this woman, then he keep looking down to read or looking to the side to read. Now he's looking to the left side to read. Look, now he's looking to the left side to read same time. Now Steve Kaufmann is looking to the left side to read same time he showed the woman. Same time he showed the camera of the woman, then he's looking to the left side to read from his laptop. Now he's looking to the left side to read from his laptop, this fake polyglot. Looking to the left side to read from his laptop, this fake polyglot. Same time he showed this woman, then he's just looking to read. Now he's looking to the left side to read from his laptop, this fake polyglot, just looking and reading the script, this fake shithole man. See, and now it looks like he moved a little bit forward. If you look on the video of Steve Kaufmann, he moved a little bit more near from the camera, and I think he's looking down on some papers or something on the table there that he also look and read something. That's why he showed the video of the other woman or the other person, so he can look down and read what he will say next. You can see now he's near from the camera, and I think he's looking down and reading something. Look at Steve Kaufmann. I think he's looking down and reading now. It looks like he's looking down and reading. It's difficult to see because the video is small, but it looks like he's looking down and reading now.
Me ajuda, mas estou falando e usando o idioma. É isso.
Fernanda?
See, that's why he was showing the other person so he can look down and read.
Estou falando e usando o idioma. É isso.
Look at Steve Kaufmann now. It looks like he's looking down and reading. If you look at the video of Steve Kaufmann, it looks like he's looking down and reading. Same time he showed this woman, then same time he showed the video of this woman, he's looking down and reading. And now when they will show him, then he will look up again. But in the start, I see that it looks like he was looking a little bit down. Look now. Wait. See? Look at Steve Kaufmann, looks like he's looking down. Look at Steve Kaufmann, he's looking down. The same time they were showing the woman, he was looking down and reading. And now when they show him again, he will look up again. He was looking down and reading same time they show the woman. You can see there, you can see he's looking down and reading. You can see on Steve Kaufmann is looking down and reading. That's why he showed the video of the woman, so he can look down and read the same time. And when they show him now, you can see he was still reading, but now he just finished reading, then he will look up again.
Fernanda?
Sim.
See, he need to read more. Maybe he need to read more than he showed the other woman also. It's just some fake shit.
Eu acho. Estão a ouvir? Sim? Eu acho que é importante saber pronunciar as palavras. Eu estou a tentar aprender algumas palavras de holandês.
And same time you show the other person there, then he's looking down and reading. And if you say you cannot see it, so it's because the video of him is very small. But same time they show the other person here, then he's looking down and reading what he will say next.
E também aprendi alemão quando andava a estudar.
You can see, it looks like he's looking down, like he's concentrated and looking down, Steve Kaufmann. It's like he's concentrated and looking a little bit down there to the right side like that on the table in front of him. He's looking down and reading something, so he's ready when it's his turn to speak.
E o holandês é muito mais difícil do que o alemão. Quando é que acaba uma palavra e quando é que começa outra. Cada palavra são...
See, you could see he was looking down and reading. You could see he was looking down and reading.
Para conseguir falar acho que é fundamental, sim.
Look at Steve Kaufmann. Where is he looking? You could see he's looking. You can see he's looking down and reading. Same time they were showing the other woman, he was looking down and reading. Same time they were showing the video of the woman. Same time they showed the video of the woman, he was looking down and reading. That's why when they show him now, immediately when they show him, you can see that he's looking down. He's looking down and reading. It's just some fake shit. He cannot not speak Portuguese. See, now he also moved to the left side to his laptop and the left side to read something also. See, now he moved to the left side to his laptop and the left side to read. It's just some fake shit, man. See, he looked down to read again. He was looking down and reading. Same time they showed the woman. Same time they showed the woman. He was looking down and reading. And now he looked down to read again to see again what he's going to say. You can see he's looking down to read. He cannot speak Portuguese. He's just some fake asshole, man. He cannot speak 20 languages. He cannot speak Portuguese. He's just looking down and reading from a script. Where is Steve Kaufmann looking now? And I keep asking like that because of people who believe in this bullshit. People who believe in Steve Kaufmann and don't want to see the truth. People who don't want to see the truth, I want them to see the truth and I want them to realize the truth. Look at Steve Kaufmann, he's looking down and reading from his script. See, he speaks same time he was looking down. And now he will look up. See, he keep looking down to read. He keep looking down to read, it's just some fake shit. See, he keep looking down. See, he keep looking down to read every second like that. Look, he looked down to read. See, he's looking down and speaking same time. He's looking down and saying few words same time and reading the next few words. See, then he looked down again now, look. See, now he looked down again to see the next words. It's just some fake shit.
Continuar a estudar o idioma alemão, acrescentar o vocabulário.
Then you look down to the right side there also. You're looking down to read. You have some papers or something in front of you there on the table. Then he closes his eyes. He closes his eyes, open his eyes all the time so people not notice what he's doing. See, then he open his eyes and move his body up. Open his eyes, move his body up, and then his eyes are looking down and reading. His eyes are looking down and reading. Then he move his head a little bit forward. Moving his head a little bit forward, his polyglot technique and method. his secret polyglot techniques and methods. He moves his body forward and looking down and reading the same time. You can see he's looking down and reading. Yeah, asshole man. See, he moves his body forward and he's looking down and reading. Then he moves his body back and still looking down and reading. He moves his body forward and back, and same time he moves forward and back, then he's looking down with his eyes. He do like this so people not notice what he's doing. See, then he moves his body forward again, same time he's looking down. His eyes are looking down, same time he's moving his body forward now. See, then he closes his eyes a little bit and open a little bit. See, he closes his eyes. He closes his eyes, then he will open a little bit again. See, he keep opening, closing his eyes so he can look down and read so people don't notice. You can see he's looking down and reading. Look at him, he's not looking in the camera. He is not looking in the camera. He is not looking in the camera. People who believe in this Steve Kaufmann clown, people who believe in this Steve Kaufmann clown and think he can speak 20 languages or think he can speak those languages he say he can speak, open your eyes and look where is Steve Kaufmann looking. He's looking down and reading. He's not looking in the camera. He's not looking in the camera. And now he only opens his eyes very little. He only opens his eyes very little, then he's looking down and reading the same time. Where are you looking, Steve Kaufmann? Why you keep shaking your head up and down? Is it very difficult to look in the camera? Is it very difficult to sit normally and look in the camera? Why you're the only one who keep jumping around same like a monkey? Why you're the only one of those people that you make video call with who are jumping around same like a monkey and keep looking up and down, looking to the right side, to the left side, moving your body forward and back, moving your body to the right side, to the left side, opening, closing your eyes. Why you're the only one who do like this in this video call? Because you cannot speak Portuguese and you do like this so you can look and read. Where are you looking? Where are you looking, Steve Kaufmann? Where are you looking? You're looking to the side to read there. You're looking there to the side to read from your papers or laptop or something there you have on the side. You're just looking to read. Just some fake asshole. And also now he's looking down. You can see his eyes are looking down. They're not looking in the camera. His eyes are not looking in the camera, they're looking down.
Descoragimento, no? Então, é negativo. É melhor. Eu quando studio não me permito.
Where are you looking, Steve Kaufmann? Where are you looking? Why you keep moving to the right side, to the left side, to the right side, to the left side? Why you keep moving around? See, now he looked to the laptop there. Now he looked to the laptop to read also. Because he have his script many places, so he will not look the same place every time. He will not look the same place every time so people will not notice. See, now he looked to the left side to read from his laptop on the left side. Did you read good? You were not finished reading yet? He did not read yet, he was not finished reading. He need to look again to read again. Now he looked to the left side to read again. Now he look up again also. Now he also look up. He looked to the left side, then he look up to the right side also.
Descoragimento, no? Então é negativo. É melhor. Eu quando studio não me permito.
See, first he looked there to the left side 2 times. He looked to the left side 2 times. After he will look up to the right side also. See, he looked to the left side 2 times. 2 times he looked there to the left side to his laptop, and after he will look up to the right side. And he also looked down here in the front also. He looked down in the front, and after he will look up to the right side now. See, now he look up to the right side. He have many scripts around him, many papers or different laptops or different things that he's looking and reading from, and he keep looking around to read. Where are you looking, clown? Clown, where are you looking? And now he's looking down also, but you cannot see it so good because he only opened his eyes very little. Where are you looking, Steve Kaufmann? Why you keep looking there to the left side? Where are you looking? Why you look to the left side, to the right side, looking down?
Oír, como decía Fernanda, es importante oír y leer as dois.
See, he's looking down now. His eyes only very little open, then looking down and reading.
E se
Where are you looking? Where are you looking, clown? See, looking to the left side, and after he will look down also.
palabras, vou ler, vou
Looking to the right side, and then after he will look down in front of him.
ouvir, como decía Fernanda, es importante ouvir y leer as dois.
See, now he's looking down. He's looking down in front of him.
E se
See, then he will keep doing like this, moving his head around and closing his eyes, opening his eyes.
gosta,
See, he closed his eyes, then he opened very little, then he looked down on some papers. He closed his eyes, then opened very little, then he's looking down there in front of him on some papers. And then he closed his eyes again, and then looking a little bit down again, only open his eyes very little and looking down and reading.
como faz Cheryl. Para mí es muy importante fazer coisas que são agradáveis.
Where are you looking, clown? Where are you looking, man?
Para mí es muy importante fazer coisas que são
See, he looked down to the left side there. He looked down to the left side there.
agradáveis.
Just some fake asshole, man. And his eyes is only very little open, and same time he's looking down.
Que você gosta de fazer. Se você gosta de falar a si mesmo, bem, fala. Se você gosta de ler e ouvir, como é meu caso, al princípio, vou fazê-lo. Se você tem dificuldades e um pouco frustrado com as dificuldades.
He also looked to the right side before. He kept looking to the right side, to left side. And now he's looking down. His eyes only very little open and looking down in front of him.
Da pronúncia
Where are you looking? Why you move your head down? Why you keep moving around with your head? You're the only one who keeps shaking around and jumping around. You're the only one in this video called who keep jumping around, same like a monkey. You do like this so you can look down and read, you fake asshole, man. See, he do like this so he can look down and read. See, now he's looking down and reading. He's looking down and reading.
você
He's looking down and reading something now. Look.
quer
Did you read the words?
aprender alemão?
Did you read the words, Grandpa?
Eu recomendo.
See? And then he looked to the right side also. He have a lot of papers and things around him. Then he keep looking there to the side and the other side and looking down.
Que você continue a aprender o idioma e
See? Looking down to read. Looking down to read. Just some fake shit, man.
fez esforços sobre a pronunciação depois. Porque não
Looking to the side again to your laptop to read. Again looking there to read. Again looking to the left side to read there. The whole video he's just doing like this. And many times also before they show the computer screen so you cannot see him also. Before they was showing the computer screen on his camera so you could not see his video. So he can read the same time. You just some fake shit, man. And people believe in this bullshit.
é uma perda de tempo
Ah, did you read? And now he's looking down to the front also.
aprender a língua, aprender a ler, aprender palavras. Não é uma perda de tempo. E depois você seguro não
Stop shaking your head. Just look in the camera, you fake shithole, man.
vai pronunciar
He keeps shaking his head so he can look down and read.
melhor. Somente melhor.
Just some fake asshole, man.
Não, isso é me
Where are you looking? Where are you looking? Where are you looking? Steve Kaufmann, where are you looking? Where are you looking?
conselho, não? Não sei se isso é útil ou não. Ok, tem outras perguntas sobre
Just some fake asshole, man.
a aprendizagem, sobre link. Se não, vou continuar com a explicação da biblioteca, que acredito que tem pessoas que queriam participar da nossa conversa, mas eu não compreendo como. Acredito que tem.
See, he looked to the left side there also. See, he looked there to the left side again to his laptop. He looked to the left side, he have his head up. He move his head up, but his eyes are looking a little bit down. He looked to the left side there to read also. And now he will look down, and then after look to the right side also.
Pessoas que queriam participar da nossa.
See, now he looked to the right side also to read. He has something on the left side and on the right side and also in front of him also. Just some fake asshole, man. Just looking and reading a text the whole video.
Conversa, mas eu não.
See, again he looked to the left side to read. Again he looked to the left side to read.
Compreendo como funciona este sistema de Google Plus, porque eu tenho invitado a todos.
He looked to the left side for a second, then looked back again.
Aqui temos 5 pessoas, que são 4 são bem-vindos, mas sei que são. Tenho invitado a todos.
See, he looked to the left side to read there, and after 2 seconds or something, he will look also down. See, he looked to the left side to read now.
Aqui temos.
And now he looked down. You can see his eyes are looking down. His eyes are looking down, they're not looking in the camera.
5
And he moved more near from the camera there and looking down.
Personas que são 4 são bem-vindos, mas.
See, now he shake his head. Now he shake his head again so he can look down and read. Now he looked down to read. See, now he looked down to read, this fake asshole man. He's looking down to read. See, he looked down to read, this fake asshole man. He shake his head so he can look down and read, this fake shithole man.
5 personas que são 4 são bem-vindos, mas sei que.
See, he looked down to read. He shake his head, then same time he looked down to read.
São outros.
See, he keeps shaking his arms and shaking his head, then he looked down to read.
Que queriam participar, não sei.
And see, he moved forward, he moved his body forward and closed his eyes, and after he will open his eyes and look down. See, why you close your eyes and jumping around? Why you close your eyes and moving up and down and jumping around? See, he jump around so he can look there to the side and read. He move his body up and down and jumping around so he can look to the side to read again.
Disculpa.
Did you read?
Ho invitado a todo el mundo, no sé por qué tem personas que pueden.
Then he looked to the side and read. Then he looked to the side to read.
Participar, otros no. No sé. Okay. Screen share.
Screen share. Okay. So every time he finish saying the things that he read, then he changed to the other person so he can look and read when he showed the other person. Now he changed to another person so he can look and read what he will say next.
Então, aqui.
And see now, again, he put this one instead of his camera. Again, he put this one instead of his camera. This is the camera of Steve Kaufmann. He just put his computer screen there, then now he can read from the script. Now you cannot see that he's reading. Now he put this one, then you cannot see when he's reading. He put this one on his camera. He show his laptop, so same time he can look and read, and you cannot see that he's reading.
Como decía, a página all'inizio, a página aprender.
You can hear Steve Kaufmann speaking now. You can hear Steve Kaufmann speaking now, but he's just reading from a script now. And why you cannot see he's reading from a script? Because now he's not showing himself. Now he's not showing himself. He just show the laptop there. He just show the laptop screen. He don't show himself. Same time he's just looking and reading from a script.
Donde vemos cursos recomendados y también aquí debemos decidir do nivel de dificultad que va también ser o nivel de dificultad en la biblioteca. Ese se decide aquí. Se vocês querem ver as lições que estão aprendendo, estudando, os níveis não vão aparecer porque são as lições, não é uma questão de níveis, é uma questão das lições que está aprendendo, estudando. Bom, vamos a pasar à biblioteca. Também nessa página de aprender, vocês podem ver seus níveis em diversos distintos idiomas, inglês, chinês, para mim, que estou estudando. Tem feito 293 links.
Now they show this one, then he's just reading from a script. Now they show his laptop screen, they don't show him, then he's just reading from a script at the same time. Now he can just read from his computer or read from some papers. Same time they show this one, so you cannot see him. Now you cannot see Steve Kaufmann, he's just reading from his papers or laptop like that.
Desde 7 días para prepararme para ese discurso, para esa conversa. Y también te he falado con Fernanda y con Diego para un poco prepararme porque nunca falo portugués. Ok, vamos a la biblioteca. Ok.
Let's see how long time this one take. Now it's 22 minutes. Let's try to move forward and see how long this one is. Look how long time this one is. Look, it was 22 minutes, now 25 minutes.
Para el futuro, un playlist sobre...
See, 25 minutes and they're still showing this one. So this last 3 minutes, they just show this one, same time you cannot see him.
Com amigos. Não sei se isso tem alguém mais.
They show that one for like 5, 6, 7 minutes. They show that one off the laptop, so you could not see Steve Kaufmann. Same time he's reading from his script.
Tem essa dúvida, mas...
Ok, is assim.
See, he's just looking down and reading this fake asshole.
Como você dizia, tem...
Não sei se isso tem alguém mais tem essa dúvida.
Look down on the camera of Steve Kaufmann. Look down on the camera of Steve Kaufmann. It looks like he's looking a little bit down to the side and reading. Look on the small camera of Steve Kaufmann. Look on Steve Kaufmann. It looks like he's looking down and reading. Same time they show the other boy there. Look, it looks like he's looking down and reading, but the picture is small, it's not clear. But it looks like he's looking down and reading the same time. I think he's looking down and reading the same time when he showed the other person, the Steve Kaufmann fake polyglot. It looks like he's looking a little bit down to the side and reading on Steve Kaufmann's camera. After a few seconds they will show his camera. See, now they show black screen and after they'll show Steve Kaufmann.
Okay.
See, you can see he's looking down and reading. Look at Steve Kaufmann, he was looking down and reading. Same time they were showing this boy who was talking. Same time they showed that boy who was talking, Steve Kaufmann was looking down and reading. That's why now when they show the camera of Steve Kaufmann, you can see he was still looking down. He was just looking down and reading from his laptop or papers like that. Same time the boy was speaking. Where are you looking, Steve Kaufmann? Where are you looking?
Como você dizia,
Where are you looking? You're just some fake asshole.
temos a possibilidade de compartilhar.
Tem alguém mais tem essa dúvida, mas...
Okay.
You can see he's just looking down and reading. He's just looking down and reading there from the laptop, and he will also look to the right side here to read also. See? Just looking down and reading the whole time. Just looking down and reading, you fake asshole. You fake shithole. You cannot speak Portuguese. You're just looking down and reading.
Como
Just some fake asshole, man.
você dizia,
Just some fake shithole. And he keep opening and closing his eyes like that. Closing his eyes, opening his eyes.
temos a possibilidade.
He's just looking down and reading. You can see his eyes very little open now, and then he looked down to the left side. His eyes very little open and looking down to the left side on his laptop.
De compartilhar lições.
You can see he's looking down now on the table in front of him. Now his eyes only very little open. His eyes only very little open, and he's looking down to the front there. He's looking under the camera. He's looking under the camera where he have some papers or some laptop or something under the camera. You can see he's looking under the camera. But it's difficult to see because he only opens his eyes very little. And he do it intentionally. He do it intentionally like this because he don't want people to notice. He don't want people to notice, so he only opens his eyes very little, and same time he's looking down and reading. Look at Steve Kaufmann. He only opens his eyes very little, and then he look down the same time. He only opens his eyes very little, then he's looking down to read same time. He only opens his eyes very little, and then he's looking down to read because he has some laptop or some papers under the camera. He's just looking down and reading this fake polyglot.
Tenemos la posibilidad de importar lições y miembros que
see, he keep looking down to the side or looking down in front of him. He's just looking to the side or looking in front of him, looking down to read. Just some fake shit, man.
Los miembros que no pagan tienen un límite de 5 artículos importados y
he keeps shaking his head so people not notice where he's looking.
basta. Mas os miembros que
see, you can see he keep looking down to read. You see he will shake his head a lot so he can look down same time. You can see his eyes are looking down, he's not looking in the camera. His eyes are looking down, he's not looking in the camera. He's looking down under the camera. He's looking down under the camera where he have some papers or something that he's reading from. And now he will shake his head from the right side to left side so people not notice what he's doing. But you can see his eyes are looking down, they're not looking in the camera.
De 5 artículos importados.
See, now he's shaking his head. He's shaking his head and same time he's looking down to read.
Y basta.
And then he closes his eyes. Shaking his head, opening, closing his eyes, looking down to read. See? Move his head down to read. Look, he moves his head down to read now. He moves his head down to read, this fake polyglot. This fake scammer, he looked down to read. What are you doing? Why are you looking down there? If you can speak Portuguese, why the whole time you keep jumping around, moving your head up and down, shaking your head, moving your body forward and back, moving to the right side, moving to the left side, looking down to read, looking to the left side, looking to the right side. If you can speak Portuguese, you will look in the camera the whole time. You are the only one who do like this. You're the only one in the video who's doing like this. Just looking down and reading, you fake asshole. And he keeps shaking his head so people cannot see where he's looking. He keeps shaking his head around so people cannot see that he's looking down. I think he has something on the right side also that he's looking to the right side.
Podemos solamente compartir.
See, now he's looking down, but you cannot see it because his eyes only very little open. His eyes only very little open, but he's looking down to read. Look at the clown. Look at Steve Kaufmann. Steve Kaufmann. He's looking down to read, but he only opens his eyes very little. He only opens his eyes very little, but he's looking down to read. Look here. You can see he's looking down, he's not looking in the camera. He's not looking in the camera, he's looking down to read. He's looking down to read this fake polyglot. He's looking down to read this fake polyglot. He's not looking in the camera. He's looking down to read. He's not looking in the camera. And he do this the whole video, the whole live stream. The whole live stream he's just looking down and reading. And he do like this in all his videos and all his live streams. He just look down to the right side or to the left side or looking down in front of him. He's just some fake polyglot, some fake scammer shit.
Compartilhar na biblioteca coisas que não têm limites de punto.
His eyes are looking down, they're not looking in the camera. His eyes are looking down, he has his papers or laptop under the camera. He's looking down and reading.
De vista direitas de autor. Ou quer dizer, se você vai.
See, now he want to look to the left side, maybe to his laptop on the left side. Look. Now he look to the left side also to read from his laptop on the left side.
No,
And then he looked down to the right side here. Look. He looked down to the right side there on some papers or something there on the right side.
per esempio,
Look, he looked down to read there also.
in un
He looked to the left side. He just keep looking to the right side, to the left side.
periodico,
Just some fake asshole, man.
in principio no tiene derecho a compartilhar. Todo que você pode encontrar.
Where are you looking? Where are you looking? Asshole. Asshole, where are you looking? You just keep looking to read, you fake asshole, man.
Na internet
Where are you looking, man? The camera is in front of you. You cannot find the camera. You cannot find the camera. You don't know where is the camera. You don't know where is the camera. The camera is in front of you. Look in the fucking camera, man. Look in the fucking camera. You're just looking down to read or looking to the side to read. You can see it's looking down there. Did you find your shoes? You were looking after your shoes or your feet. You cannot find your feet or what? Why you look down, you asshole, man?
Preguntar al propietario. Y
Okay. Now you're looking down again. Now again looking down to read, you fake asshole, man.
muitas vezes
Just some fake asshole. And see, he keep closing his eyes, opening his eyes.
no.
See, shaking his head and opening and closing his eyes. Now his eyes is closed again. See, and then he shake his head and look down. He shake his head, close his eyes, then he look down to read.
Demais os casos
Just some fake asshole, man.
não respondam, okay?
Pois, esse é o problema.
Just some fake asshole shithole, man. And then he will show the other person here so he can read now. He will show the other person so he can look and read for a longer time now.
Isso é um problema, não responderem.
So, no, mas
See, he need to look and read, that's why he showed the other person.
así es, okay? Okay?
Pois, esse é o problema.
He showed the other person just for a few seconds because he need to look and read.
Isso é um problema, não responderem.
So, no,
See, it looks like he was looking down and reading.
mas
See, and he keep closing his eyes and shaking his head. Why you keep closing your eyes and shaking your head? It's because you want to look down and read. See, he keeps shaking his head, and closing his eyes. Then he looked to the side to read there. Then he looked to the left side to read there.
así es, okay? Mas, por exemplo,
See, shaking his head, looking down to read. Shaking his head, closing his eyes, then look down to read.
por exemplo,
And see, he also looked there to the right side there. Just some fake asshole, man.
tem perguntado a Wikipedia y eles decían sí. Y también Fernanda preguntaba un podcast en Portugal, decía sí. Tenemos, por ejemplo,
Where are you looking? Where are you looking? The camera is in front of you, asshole. The camera is in front of you. Why look to the right side there?
el Café Brasil,
And now he's looking down, but his eyes only very little open. His eyes only little open, but he's looking down under the camera and reading.
do Brasil, Fernanda,
Where are you looking? The camera is in front of you, asshole. Asshole, shithole. The camera is in front of you. Why are you looking there? Why are you looking to the side there? You're just looking and reading. Yeah. Keep shaking your head, doing something like that, doing some action, doing some acting. Do some acting, shaking your head and doing some acting like that so you can... He just distract people. He distract people with this kind of acting that he shake his head and acting like this so he can look down and read.
que sé, ma,
No.
decía sí.
See, now he showed the woman. Now he showed the woman because he need to look and read.
Ana Paula?
No, Fernando,
See, he was looking to the side or looking down and reading, but he showed the woman so you cannot see it.
Ana Paula?
See, then he keep acting and shaking his head because he want to look and read.
Não?
See? What the fuck, man?
No.
He do like this so he can look and read, this fucking asshole. Look at this fake scammer, this polyglot scammer, this fake polyglot, Steve Kaufmann. He keeps changing the camera to the woman and then to this black screen. He changed the camera to the woman, and after he changed to the black screen, he keeps doing like this many times, and he keeps shaking his head around because he wants to look and read. Then he changed the camera to this black screen just for a few seconds. Just for a few seconds, he changed the camera to this black screen so he can look to the side and read. Look, he's looking to the left side and reading. Look at him, he's looking to the left side and reading, this fake polyglot. He keeps changing the camera to the other people so he can look and read. Look here, he looked to the left side to read, this fake polyglot. He looked to the left side to read, this fake asshole, man. That's why he keeps changing the camera many times, because he wants to look to the side and read. You can see he looked there to the left side to read, this fake polyglot. That's why he keeps changing the camera many times, because he wants to look to the side to read, this fake asshole, man. See, he looked down to read. I want to try to look at his camera same time he showed this kind of things. I want to look now on his camera. Look, I don't know if he's looking down to the right side there on his camera there on the small camera. It looks like he's looking down to the right side. Look now, he changed the camera to this woman. It looks like Steve Kaufmann is looking a little bit down to the right side. You can see his head is a little bit looking to the right side like that. I think he's looking down to the right side to read some papers on the right side. It looks like he's looking to the right side to read from some papers or something like that. He keeps changing the camera to the other people so he can look and read at the same time. Look on Steve Kaufmann on his camera. I think he's looking now to the left side to read from his laptop. It looks like he's looking to the left side there. Look at Steve Kaufmann. He keeps changing the camera to the other people. He changed the camera to the woman, then suddenly he changed the camera to this black screen here. He keeps changing to the other cameras so he can look and read at the same time. Now it looks like he's looking to the left side to read. It looks like he's looking to the left side to read, but the quality is not so good because it's a small camera. Look, it looks like he's looking to the left side to read. I think he's looking to the left side to read. That's why he keeps changing the camera to the other people. Now he changed to the black screen, then he looked to the left side to read. It looks like he's looking to the left side to read there. That's why he keeps changing to the woman or changing to the black screen, because he wants to look and read what he will say next. So every time when he wants to read more things, when he wants to read for longer time, what he will say next, then he keeps changing to the other people so he has more time to look and read.
No.
See, look on Steve Kaufmann, he's looking to the left side. Look good on Steve Kaufmann on his small camera, he's looking to the left side. That's why he showed this woman and then showed the black screen. Now you can see he's looking on to the left side to read. You can see he's looking to the left side to read there. If you look on the small camera, I'll try to show a screenshot picture maybe also. But I think maybe I'll stop the video soon. It's becoming very long, this video. Look on Steve Kaufmann, you can see that he's looking to the left side to read. Look now on the small camera of Steve Kaufmann. Now it's very clear that he's looking to the left side to read. Look at him. You can see he's looking to the left side. See, he's looking to the left side. Look at him. He's looking to the left side to read, this fake polyglot. He's looking to the left side to read. Same time he showed other cameras. That's why he keeps changing to the woman or changing to this black screen or changing to the other people. He keeps changing the camera to the other people so he can look and read. Look, now he looked to the left side to read. Now he's looking to the left side to read from his laptop on the left side. That's why he keeps changing the camera to the other people or to the other cameras. Then same time he will look to the side to read, this fake polyglot. Now he's just looking to the side to read. So he's ready to speak again.
Fernando.
See? He was looking there to the left side to read from his laptop. And he moved his head a little bit up. Before his head was a little bit lower, I think. See? Now he also looked to the right side to read. See? And he want to look down to read. He was going to look down to read, then he changed the camera. Look how many times he keeps changing the camera. He keeps changing the camera many times. He show himself, then he changed to the woman, then he show himself, then he changed to the black screen. He keeps changing every few seconds so he can look and read. He just do like this so he have more time to look and read. And suddenly in a second, like after he showed himself, then he looked to the left side and looked to the right side. You could see when he showed himself, he also looked to the left side and to the right side. And then immediately he changed to the black screen. Same time he was showing himself, then immediately he changed to the black screen. And then he looked down to read here. Look, it looks like he's looking down to read here. He put his hand on his head. And then it looks like he's looking down to read same time. He put his hand on his head and looking down to read same time. That's why he keeps changing the camera to the other cameras there. Now he changed to the black screen, then he looked down to read same time. He's just some fake asshole, man.
No.
He was looking down to read, this fake asshole.
And,
See, he looked down to read. Then he changed the camera now. Look. He looked down to read now, then he will change to the black screen. Look now. Look, he looked down to read. You can see he's looking down now. He's looking down to read, then he want to look for longer time. He want to look and read for a few seconds. Like that, then he will change to the black screen now. Look. Look now, he's looking down to read.
No.
See, then he changed to the woman. He was looking down to read, then he changed to the woman so he cannot see when he's reading. But if you look on his small camera, it looks like he's looking a little bit down to the side there. If you look on the camera under the woman, it looks like Steve Kaufmann is looking down to read. See, now they put a black screen so you can look and read.
No, Fernando.
It's just some fake shit. You keep looking to the side, looking to the other side, and looking down. Then they show the black screen. They show black screen so same time he can look down and read.
No.
But look at Steve Kaufmann, his eyes, it's like they're looking down. You can see it's like he's looking down, he's not looking at the camera. See? He keep moving down, moving his head down to look and read. He looked down to read, then they'll show the woman.
Eu nunca usei, não.
Pirois.
See? Then he looked to the side again. Just some fake shit.
No.
And he keeps shaking his head and closing his eyes. Shaking his head, closing his eyes, opening his eyes. See? Now he only opens his eyes very little. Then he's looking down to read.
Tenemos coisas fantásticas en cada
See, he shake his head so he could look to the side to read.
lengua.
See, now he's shaking his head. Then he'll look to the left side.
No.
See, he keeps shaking his head. And it looks like now he's looking down, but he only opens his eyes very little. Looking down to read, and then he will shake his head to the left side also. See, he shake his head and only opens his eyes very little. Then you cannot see where he's looking. He's looking down in front of him to read.
De toda manera,
See, he's looking to the front to read there.
tenemos coisas fantásticas en cada.
See, then he looked to the left side also to his laptop on the left side. It's just some fake shit. You can see he looked to the laptop to the left side and he keeps shaking his head so people not notice what he's doing. See, then he closes his eyes again. He closes his eyes and shaking his head.
Cada
And then he only opens his eyes very little and looking down in front of him to read.
lengua.
See, now he closes his eyes and shaking his head. Then he will only open his eyes very little and look down to read. See, he looked down to read, but he only opened very little his eyes. It's just some fake shit.
Nuestros miembros preguntaba.
See, he looked down for a second, then he looked up again. See, he keep looking down and looking up, looking down, looking up. He keeps shaking his head and looking up and down.
Podemos utilizar cada lengua.
See, he will shake his head now, then he look down a few times. See, he shake his head, look down, then he will shake his head again and look down again. See?
nuestros miembros
See, he keeps shaking his head so he can look up and down.
preguntar.
See, he shake his head, then he look down to read. But it happened very fast, but I keep pausing so I can show it. I keep clicking pause so I can show it. But he do this very fast. He shake his head very fast and looking down to read one word, then look up, shake his head, look down to read one word, then look up, shake his head, look down. He keep doing like this very fast just to see few words. See, then he shake his head and look down to see one word. Shake his head, look down to see one word.
Podemos
See, he keeps shaking his head, and his eyes only very little open and looking down and reading.
utilizar
Just some fake asshole. See, then he shake his head and he want to look, I think, to the left side maybe now. See, now he shake his head and look to the left side to read from his laptop on the left side.
ese podcast.
Look at him. Now again he's looking down to read.
Esta materia nossa
I look up to the side also for a second.
biblioteca.
See, he keeps shaking his head so he can look down and read.
So,
See, he keeps shaking his head so same time he can look down and read. Just some fake shit, man. See, you can see he's looking down and reading. He's looking down and reading. He keeps shaking his head many times so he can look down or look to the side and read. He keeps shaking his head, opening and closing his eyes. Only open his eyes very little so he can look down and read. You can see he's looking down there and reading. Just some fake asshole. You cannot speak Portuguese. You cannot speak Portuguese. Steve Kaufmann cannot speak Portuguese. He's just some fake asshole, shithole liar. He's just looking down and reading, and he keeps shaking his head and moving his body and opening, closing his eyes. And you're just looking and reading. You're just looking and reading what he would say next. You're just looking and reading. You're just looking and reading.
Podcast.
Asshole, man. And then he closes his eyes now again. And then he look up to the right side to read also.
Horario que dicen sí.
And then now he only opens his eyes very little and looking down in front of him. Only open his eyes very little, looking down in front of him.
Tem que dicen no y tem que dicen que no respondan. Pero en principio debemos preguntar. Si você.
See, now he's looking down. And if you cannot see he's looking down, it's because he only opened his eyes very little. He only opened his eyes very little. And he do like this so people don't know where he's looking. He only opens his eyes very little, then he's looking down in front of him and reading.
Não tem a direita de compartilhar.
Okay, I think this is enough. I got enough of this bullshit. Almost 2 hours watching this kind of fuck shit nonsense. Let's just try to move a little bit forward. I got enough of this bullshit. Look here. See, where is he looking? Where is Steve Kaufmann looking? You can see, keep looking there to the left side.
E onde é que é isso do import por marca? Isso nunca vi, nunca usei isso.
See, he's looking there to the left side to read. I moved the video a little bit forward. I will not show the whole video. I got tired of this nonsense. You can see he's looking there to the left side to read. You can see he's just looking to the left side and reading. He's just looking to the left side and reading.
Poner en su.
You can see he's just looking to the left side and reading. He's just looking to the left side and reading.
What's it called again?
What's called again? That's Brazilian, Portuguese. What's called again? You can see he's looking to the left side and reading. Now Steve Kaufmann is looking to the left side and reading. Look good. If you like this Steve Kaufmann, if you're a fan or subscribe to this clown, if you subscribe to this clown Steve Kaufmann, look at him now. Where is he looking? Where is he looking? He's looking to the left side and reading.
Toolbar.
He's just looking to the left side and reading from his laptop. Look at this clown. Look at this fucking fake asshole. This fake shithole. He cannot speak Portuguese. You can see he's just looking and reading.
Let's see, where's the bookmarklet?
He's just looking and reading from his laptop. He pretends that he's showing something or looking at something about what he's talking about, but he's looking at his script. He's just looking at his script and reading from his script, but people think that it's about something else, but he's looking and reading from his script. He's looking to the left side on his computer and just reading the script, and people believe in this bullshit and think that he's just looking at something about what he's talking about, but he's looking and reading from the script.
Se você clica sobre... where is the bookmarklet? Eu esqueci onde se fica o bookmark.
He just pretends that he's looking for something on the computer, but he's looking and reading his script.
Apagar, voltar a importar, no. Esqueci. Oh, porque eu já
Just some fake shit. And see, now he's looking down to read also. Now he's looking down to the side there to read also, looking down on the table to read. Just some fake shit, man.
Escolhido el bookmarklet no veo.
He's just looking to the left side there. He has his laptop and reading from his laptop. But people think that it's about something else, like they think he's talking about something on the laptop, but he's looking and reading his script on the laptop.
Ma acredito que tengo preguntar. Fernanda, vou decir depois.
Tá debaixo da página. Tá.
De qual página?
He's just looking to the side and reading, and people believing in this bullshit. He's just looking to the side and reading the whole script, and people believe in this bullshit.
Debaixo. Okay. No, eu não conheço.
He's just looking and reading his script, and people believe in this bullshit and think that he can speak Portuguese. He's just looking and reading.
Conheço o próprio sistema.
Que vergonha.
Não, porque...
Estou a brincar.
Estava procurándolo hoje.
And you can see same time they show the woman, he's still looking to the left side and reading. Same time they show this woman, you can see there on the camera of Steve Kaufmann under the woman, he's still looking and reading. If you look on the small camera of Steve Kaufmann, you can see he's still looking to the left side and reading. Look at the small camera of Steve Kaufmann. The small camera of Steve Kaufmann, you can see he's still looking to the left side. After he showed the woman, he's still looking to the left side. Look, you can see he's still looking to the left side. And I think he just pretend that he's trying to fix something about the live stream or about the cameras and things like that. It's just acting. They planned this together. They planned together what they will do on the live stream. They planned together that they'll just pretend that he's going to fix something with the cameras or doing something like that. It's all acting. It's all acting. They pretend that he's going to fix something or do something, and that's why he looked to the side. It's all acting, but the reason he looked to the side is to look and read from his laptop, to read the Portuguese words on his laptop. The reason he looked to the left side is to read the Portuguese words, but they pretend that there's some reason. They pretend that there's some reason he do that, but the real reason he looked to the left side is so he can look and read the script on his laptop. The real reason he looked to the left side, so it's so he can look and read from his laptop. He looked to the left side to read from his laptop, to read the Portuguese words, the Portuguese script, but they pretend there's some other reason. It's just some bullshit. They're just fooling people, but he's looking to the left side to read from his script, this fake asshole.
Okay.
See, he's just looking there and reading. He's just looking and reading the whole script, and people believe in this bullshit.
Tá lá.
Ok, então...
Import bookmarklet.
Ok.
Então isto...
He's just looking to the side and reading his script, and people believe in this bullshit nonsense.
Depois fica numa barra no browser, é?
Sim.
Just looking and reading from your script, you fake shithole, man.
Here we have import bookmarker. Ok, eso non è molto convenable. Vou dizer a Mark que isso é um pouco difícil procurar. Ok, mas isso import bookmarker é muito bom.
And you can see now he's looking down. He's not looking in the camera, he's looking down. He's looking down on his table and reading from something. You're just looking there in front of you to the right side or in front of you down, looking, reading, or looking to the left side and reading. You're just looking to the side there and reading, you fake asshole, man.
Útil. Lo uso siempre.
Just looking down and reading, and people believe in this bullshit.
Lo estoy leyendo.
Just looking to the side and reading, and people believe in this bullshit nonsense.
Un periódico, vejo alguma coisa interessante, muito rápido posso importar.
At the same time, he showed other people he will look down and read. Same time he showed other people look down and read. It's just some fake shit. Look at Steve Kaufmann. Same time he changed the camera to this boy, and he will look down to read. Look here. It looks like he's looking down to read. It looks like he's looking down to read. Same time he showed the camera of the boy there, and after he will also change the camera to the woman and look down and read also. Same time he showed the woman also after this.
Mas importar para depois estudar esse vocabulário, é isso?
He keeps changing the camera to the other people. He keeps changing the camera to the other people, but same time he's looking down to read. You can see it's like he's looking down to read same time. He's not looking at the camera, he's looking a little bit down to read. The whole time he's just looking down to read, this fake asshole. He keeps looking to the right side or to left side or looking down in front of him. He just keep looking down to read the whole live stream, this fake asshole, man.
Sì, isso. Vou fazer exemplo, por exemplo.
Just some fake shit. Let's move a little bit forward. I got tired of this bullshit. Look here, you can see he's just looking to the side and reading. He's just looking to the side and reading, and people believe in this bullshit. People believe in this bullshit, and he's just looking to the side and reading. He's just looking to the side and reading from his laptop, and people think he can speak the language.
Sí.
Where are you looking? Look, he's just looking down to read. Looking to the side to read or looking down to read. He's just reading the whole script, and people believe in this bullshit. You can see he's looking down and reading. Just looking down and reading, this fake asshole, man. See, then he showed the other person. He showed this guy so he can continue reading. See, he showed the video of the other person, same time he's looking and reading. If you look down on the video of Steve Kaufmann, you can see he's still looking down and reading. That's why he changed the camera to this guy. He changed the camera to this guy, same time he's looking down and reading. Look on Steve Kaufmann, his video, he's looking down and reading. Look, Steve Kaufmann was looking down to read something. Steve Kaufmann was looking down to read something, then he changed the camera to this boy so he can continue reading. Steve Kaufmann was looking down and reading, then he changed the camera to this boy so he can continue looking down and reading. He wants to read for longer time, then he changed it to the camera to the boy. Look, you can see he's still looking down and reading. You can see Steve Kaufmann is still looking down and reading. He's still looking down and reading. That's why he changed the camera to this boy. He changed the camera to this boy so you have more time to read. Because you want to look down and read for longer time. You want to look down and read for longer time. That's why he changed the camera to the boy so you can look down and read for longer time, this fake polyglot. He's just looking down and reading because he cannot speak Portuguese. He's looking down and reading his script because he cannot speak Portuguese, and that's why he keeps changing that camera to the other people. So same time he showed the other people, he's just looking and reading, this fake asshole, man.
New York Times.
See, he's just looking down and reading. He's just looking and reading, and people believe in this bullshit. He's just looking down and reading the script, and people believe in this bullshit nonsense.
Times. Okay.
Now he'll also read from the laptop also there on the left side.
Okay. Well, New York Times. Wait a second. The screen share is on. New York Times. Okay.
Now he will show this one so you cannot see him. Now he will show this one so you cannot see him when he's reading from the script. Now he showed this one so he can read from the script and you cannot see him.
Aquí tenemos New York Times. Vou abrir artículo e vou fazer assim. Vou, voilà. E aqui eu tenho já o bookmarker aqui, ok? Eu vou clicar e tenho que selecionar o idioma.
See, now you cannot see Steve Kaufmann. Now you cannot see Steve Kaufmann. He just put this picture of his laptop. He just put the video of his laptop. Then you cannot see him. Then he's just looking and reading from his script now. Now you cannot see him. Now you cannot see Steve Kaufmann. He's just looking and reading from his script.
Aqui está em inglês, muito bem, porque eu vou de vez em quando em tcheco, em russo, em chino, em japonês ou lo que seja, português. Então, aqui em inglês, muito bem, vou importar. E isso, artículo, vai se abrir já em link. E aqui abaixo tenho a possibilidade de share the lesson. E se eu vou compartilhar a lição, todos os membros do link podem estudar essa lição, se querem. Então, o URL já está incluído.
Uhum.
Ok.
Sim, a única questão é que é só texto, não é? Não tem fecheiro de som.
Só texto, sim. Evidentemente, essa é a única.
Now Steve Kaufmann don't show himself. He just showed this one so he can read from his script. Now Steve Kaufmann is not showing his camera or he's not showing himself. He only showed this one so he can read from his script. I'll try to move forward and see how long time this one is. It's already there for like 2 minutes or something now. Now 37 minutes and it has already been there for like 2 minutes or something. He showed that one for like 5 minutes or something like that. He showed this one on his screen.
Eu não compreendo, porque eu tenho feito que é somente arrestando, alargando e
Está.
já está.
Mas
He showed this one on his camera for like 5 minutes or 6 minutes or more. So you cannot see him, Steve Kaufmann. It's just some fake shit. See, they still show this one at 40 minutes now, still showing this one. Look, for like 5-6 minutes or more, they show this one on Steve Kaufmann's screen, so you cannot see him.
tens que mudar.
Fernanda, eu vou perguntar a
Eu
Mark
acho.
para que compreenda. Agora não sou, mas vou contestar.
Oh, I think like half of the video or something, they're showing this one. I think like half of the video or more than half the video, they show this one, so you cannot see Steve Kaufmann. See, 41 minutes, still showing this one. "42 minutes, still they're showing this one, you cannot see him. "43 minutes, still you cannot see Steve Kaufmann. Still they're showing this one, you cannot see Steve Kaufmann.
Bloqueado os pop-ups, mas os pop-ups não funcionam. Não, é estranho. Porque aqui em este forma, a tradução do dicionário parece aqui à direita. E com os pop-ups parece em o texto. Mas para mim, os pop-ups.
It's just some fake shit, you cannot see Steve Kaufmann. It's just some fake bullshit, man. See, almost 45 minutes here, from 35 or something until 45, like almost 10 minutes or more, they show this one. See here, 44 minutes and 40 seconds, and the video almost finished now, and they were showing this for like 10 minutes or more. You can see it looks like Steve Kaufmann is looking down to the right side there and reading. I'll try to move back. I want to see what time they started this one. Like from how many minutes. Here from 36 minutes, from 36 till 44, 40 is like 8 minutes and 20 seconds. They show it for like 8 minutes and 20 seconds here from 36 till 44. This one on the screen of Steve Kaufmann, the computer, this one on the screen started from 36 minutes until 44. For like 8.5 minutes, almost 8.5 minutes, they show this one. Almost 8.5 minutes, and they also show it before, many times before. It's like half of the video, they're showing this one, half of the video, or more than half of the video.
Sobre amigos, sobre otras funções no sistema.
They show this one so Steve Kaufmann can read from his script same time. They show this one for like 8 minutes like that, so Steve Kaufmann could read the same time from his script. So that 8 minutes, they put this one, Steve Kaufmann was just reading from a script. So he pretend that he will speak for a long time, but he's just reading from a script. Just some fake asshole. And he's just looking down and reading this fake asshole, man. See, now he jump up and down with his body so he can look down and read. See, he's just moving his body up and down so he can look down and read. You can see he's looking down and reading. And he keep moving his body up and down and moving his body from the right side to the left side just so he can look down and read. You can see his eyes are looking down.
Qualquer coisa. Não?
Eu tenho uma pergunta.
It's just some fake shit, man.
Outra vez?
Sim. Eu tô perguntando, na verdade é uma pergunta mais... As vezes vão continuar acontecendo. Tenho acompanhado.
Look at the video of Steve Kaufmann now. Look on the video of Steve Kaufmann. It looks like he's looking to the side and reading now. You can see Steve Kaufmann is like he's looking down to the right side and reading. Look, same time they show this boy's camera. Same time they show the camera of this boy here. Then Steve Kaufmann, where is he looking? Where is Steve Kaufmann looking now? Let's see here. He's looking where? To the right side. Look. He's looking to the right side to read this fake asshole. He's looking to the right side to read this fake polyglot. He changed the camera to the other people so he can look and read same time. He changed the camera to the other people so he can look and read same time. You can see he's looking to the right side. He's looking to the right side to read. He's looking to the right side to read same time. He showed the other camera. This fake polyglot Steve Kaufmann.
Esses hangouts aqui, viu em inglês, espanhol, agora em português. Queria saber se eles vão continuar com...
Look on the video of Steve Kaufmann under the video there. Look down on the video of Steve Kaufmann. He's looking down and reading. Look at Steve Kaufmann. Look at his video there. At the small video of Steve Kaufmann, you can see he's moving his head down to read. You can see he move his head down to read there, Steve Kaufmann. Look at Steve Kaufmann. He move his head down to read. Same time he showed this boy. He showed this boy and the same time he looked down to read. Look at Steve Kaufmann. Look at Steve Kaufmann. Where is he looking? Same time he showed this video of the boy speaking. Same time he showed the video of the boy speaking. Then Steve Kaufmann is looking down to read. Look. You can see it's like he's looking down to read same time. You can see his head is looking down. He's looking down to read same time this fake polyglot. Same time he showed the video of the boy, then he's looking down to read this fake polyglot. He's looking down to read the same time he showed the video of the boy. That's why he keeps changing to other people, and that's why he make video call with many people same time. That's why he make live stream video call with many people, so he can change to the other person, then he can read the same time. Steve Kaufmann will say few things, then he change to the other person, then he will look and read, then he will change to his own camera again and speak a little like that. He keeps changing to the other people so he can look and read. And more than half of the video, I think more than half of the video, he also put this computer screen on his own camera. I think like more than half of the video he put the computer screen on his own camera when you cannot see him. And same time he was also looking and reading. And now he changed the camera to this boy. Then he looked down to read the same time.
Acontecendo. Se o pessoal tem gostado da ideia, ou se é apenas um start para ensinar a funcionalidade do sistema. Acompanhado essas conversas.
Você disse que temos...
Okay, I think I got enough of this bullshit. You can see he's just looking down and reading as just some fake shit, man. You can see he's just looking down there. He's not looking in the camera. He's just looking down and reading. It's just some fake shit. And many times they put this one in front of him that you cannot see him. It's just some fake bullshit video, man. Just some fake shit video, man.
Perguntava, podemos desta maneira. E você pode decidir e a biblioteca que podem...
Just some fake shit. He just looking to the side and reading, looking down and reading. Just some fake shit video, man. Just looking down to read, looking to the side to read, and then people believe in this bullshit.
Porque temos ouvido.
Just some fake shit, man. Just some fake shit. They keep showing this one many times. Many times they show this one for many minutes. For like 5 minutes, 10 minutes like that they show this one. And when they show Steve Kaufmann also he keep looking down or looking to the side. Just some fake shit, man. Just some fake shit. He cannot speak Portuguese. See, start of the video, they show this for many minutes also.
Ok, Cheryl.
Não sei, não tenho mais.
Não, você pode perguntar.
See, same time they show this black screen, you can see Steve Kaufmann is looking down. Here in the start of the video, you can see Steve Kaufmann was looking down same time. If you look on this video of Steve Kaufmann there, the small video of Steve Kaufmann, you can see he's looking down and reading. That's why they show this black screen and show the other woman, same time he looking down and reading. You can see on Steve Kaufmann is looking down now. He's not looking in the camera, he's looking down and reading. See here, he's looking to the left side to read. It's just some fake shit. At the same time they show this black screen, it looks like he's looking down and reading. If you look on the small video of Steve Kaufmann, it looks like he's looking down and reading. That's why they keep showing this black screen or show the other people. Every time they show the other people or show black screen, then he's just looking and reading. You can see it looks like he's looking down here in this video. If you look on the small video of Steve Kaufmann, he moves his body a little bit forward. You can see he moves his body a little bit forward near from the camera and he's looking down and reading. If you look on the small video of Steve Kaufmann, you can see he's looking down and reading. That's why he showed other people like that, so he can look down and read. You can see same time they show this woman here, same time they show her camera. Then Steve Kaufmann is looking down to the left side to read. Look, you can see he's looking a little bit down to read like that. He's looking a little bit to the left side and a little bit down to read. Same time they show the other people. Same time they show the other people and Steve Kaufmann will look down to read, this fake asshole. He's just looking the whole video and reading the whole script in the whole live stream. He's just some fake polyglot, some fake shit, man. Look on Steve Kaufmann now on the video there, on the small video. You can see he's looking to the right side and reading. Look on Steve Kaufmann, you can see he's looking on the right, to the right side and reading. If you look good at Steve Kaufmann is in the small video on Steve Kaufmann, you can see Steve Kaufmann is looking down to the right side. He's looking to the right side and reading. Look at the small video of Steve Kaufmann. If you look down on the small video of Steve Kaufmann, you can see he's looking to the right side to read. Same time he showed this woman, then he keep looking to the left side to read, or looking to the right side to read, or looking down to read in front of him. Look here at Steve Kaufmann. Now he's looking to the right side to read. Now he's looking to the right side to read. Same time they show this woman. Same time they show the video of the woman. Then he's looking to the right side to read this fake polyglot. Same time he showed the video of the woman. Then he's looking to the right side to read this fake polyglot. He's just looking to the right side there to read this fake polyglot. Because he cannot speak Portuguese. He cannot speak 20 languages. He just practiced a script. And then he's just looking and reading his script. Same time they show the video of the woman. Then he's just looking to the right side to read this fake polyglot. It's just some fake shit. Just some fake shit, bullshit. Just some fake bullshit video. Just some bullshit video, just some fake shit. He cannot speak Portuguese, he's just some fake asshole, man.
Então, quando você vai importar usando eu não compreendo, porque eu tenho feito que são.
He cannot speak Portuguese, it's just some fake shit. He's full of bullshit, he cannot speak Portuguese. He cannot speak Portuguese, he cannot speak 20 languages, he's just some fake scammer, fake polyglot, fake scammer. He cannot speak Portuguese, he cannot speak 20 languages, he just read from a script. But people believe in this bullshit because some people want to believe anything. Some people believe anything or want to believe in anything. They want to believe that there's some people who can speak 10 or 12 or 20 or 30 or 50 languages. Some people, they just want to have that feeling like, oh yeah, there's someone who can speak 10 or 20 languages. Everything is possible in this world. There are people who can speak 10 or 20 or 30 or 50 languages. Of course it's possible. Some people, they just want to believe anything. That's why when they watch this, they will believe anything because they just want to believe that. They just want to believe it's possible. Yeah, of course you can learn and speak 10 or 12 or 20 or 30 or 50 languages or 100 language or 1 million language. Some people, they just want to believe in anything. Some people, they just want to believe in anything, but it's bullshit. He cannot speak Portuguese. He cannot speak Portuguese. He cannot speak 20 languages. He's just some fake liar. They just write down a script and they read the script and edit the video or looking down to read. It's just some fake shit. See you in next video. Subscribe and see you next video. Goodbye. Subscribe to my channel now. Remember, subscribe to my channel. See you. اشترك في القناة دلوقتي. افتكر اشترك في القناة. أشوفك. السلامة. Husk at abonnere på min kanal nu. Husk at abonnere. Vi ses. Abonnez-vous à ma chaîne maintenant. Abonnez-vous à ma chaîne.